Hello traders, and welcome back to another survival guide. Today's talk is going to be a very deep one as we discuss what is time. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about what the best time to trade is. And yes, it is a very subjective and relative type of question. However, you've most likely wondered it yourself. So we're going to talk about how we can quantify best time and really what those windows that are generally accepted to be the best times are. All of that and more, but let's get going and learn about it. There is a time for everything, and even more so when it comes to trading the markets. Knowing the best time to trade stocks or futures perhaps is crucial if we're trying to do our very best, which should always be our goal. The first thing that we should really dive into is understanding how do we know when to trade. Well, traders rely on short-term price movements to make profit, right? So during trading hours, there are some pockets of time that might be more profitable than others. These are generally periods marked by high market volatility and trading volumes. For many traders of stocks, futures contracts, and index-based exchange-traded funds, aka ETFs, it makes sense to plan their trades around these hours themselves to maximize the efficiency. Such an approach can oftentimes be much more efficient than just simply buying and selling from market open to market closed. However, it is essential to keep in mind that even professional traders can lose money trading within the most ideal trading times, and that will happen. Financial markets are, by nature, quite unpredictable at times, so there's always the possibility of the market turning against you regardless of the time that you trade. But with that in mind, let's talk about the best times to trade, beginning with stocks. So generally speaking, the best time to trade stocks are the first 2 hours after the market opens and the last hour before it closes. For the U.S. stock market, this is from 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and then from 3 p.m. Eastern Time to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. These periods typically have the highest trading activity, aka why we consider these the best windows to trade in, because it has the highest liquidity as well as volatility, creating those profitable options. Let us break up the day, the trading day that is, into 3 separate parts and talk about it in such. We have the open, the middle, and the end. So first, with the open. Market volumes and prices tend to go wild during the market's opening hours. The first 2 hours are when the market factors in all the events, updates, and news releases that have taken place since the closing bell from the previous trading day. Essentially, this is when most traders are trading the news, which usually creates sharp price movements and forms mini trends. During this period, experienced traders can usually recognize emerging patterns and execute a couple of profitable trades at least. However, novice and less skilled traders, on the other hand, risk suffering significant losses due to the extreme movements that tend to happen during these opening hours. Then we have trading during the middle of the day. Many professional day traders tend to stop trading around 11:30 a.m. or call it going to lunch. This is when the initial price volatility and trade volume starts to subside. During this period, trades typically take longer to execute, and the market movements are smaller and there's just less volume in general. Traders themselves usually aren't so active during this window. Now, this does not mean that profit can't be had, and there are actually traders that prefer the more tame markets of lunchtime. Then we have trading during the last hour of the day, and this is very comparable to trading when the market opens. The final hour until the market closes always brings in a flurry of activity. It's made up of traders trying to close out their positions before the market closes, or they're trying to take advantage of the mini trends that have been created by such and said activity. Just like the first hours of the day, this can be a beautiful opportunity for an experienced trader, but it can also be very dangerous for a novice trader because the moves are generally going to be much larger during this window than they would be than, say, around the middle of the day near lunchtime. Now let's discuss the best trading times as it pertains to the futures market. We can break it into three sections as well. We're going to have the pre-market hours, which is from 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Then we have the Wall Street Open, which is going to be from 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 10:30 a.m. Then we have the Wall Street Close, which is going to be from 3 to 4 p.m. on the opposite end of the day. Now, one of the many advantages that futures have over stock trading is the ability to trade around the clock. The futures market is open nearly 24 hours a day during the weekdays. It would be a full 24 hours if not for the required 1 hour period between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's usually set aside for server maintenance and related updates. But in any case, with 23 trading hours available, futures trading provides traders across the globe an opportunity to buy and sell futures contracts and manage positions literally almost all day long. But just like with the stock market, all trading times are not created equal. So let's talk about the pre-market hours, which runs between that 7:30 and 9 a.m. window. This is an important time for traders of index futures such as the E-mini S&P 500 and the E-mini NASDAQ 100 because this period has just so darn much volume. The participation starts to really pick up during this window as traders return from the overnight session armed with news and updates that might sway market direction and looking to get in that direction before that real move actually happens. One of the biggest drivers of volatility and liquidity during pre-market hours are scheduled releases of market-driving publications like the official U.S. economic reports, which come out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time like clockwork. These publications include updates on news and critical economic data, including GDP and the Consumer Price Index, amongst so many others. Next, we have the Wall Street Open, the one between 9:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The first hour after the opening bell, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, can also have a great time for us in the trading world, or it can be a great time for us in the trading world because it can add such a large amount of volume, and we can take advantage of that volume if we're momentum or swing traders. And then finally, we have the Wall Street Close between 3 and 4 p.m. Really, the final hour before the closing bell from 3 to 4 p.m. is key for futures traders as price action tends to pick up yet again as day traders are looking to liquidate open positions as overnight traders across the globe begin to enter the market. This does lead to increased volatility, which can then create increased trading opportunity. It's important to remember that even if you're trading in the best trading windows, there's other things that can happen that can make that trading window behave much differently than normal, such as a massive news release. And it's not all that difficult to stay on top of the scheduled news releases as there's a variety of resources out there online. Also, it's important to remember that black swan events can happen at any time, and that's why when we trade, we employ risk management, because there's always some degree of the unknown that could come our way. On top of that, it's important to decide what your personal schedule looks like around the ideal trading hours, because that is something to factor in. If you're on another side of the globe and trading during the opening bell is just entirely too difficult for you, that is something that you're going to have to factor in. You don't want to sacrifice your mental health because ultimately you're going to be going backwards in your trading progress as a result of that. But until next time, good luck, happy trading, and have fun trading some of the best trading windows that there are.